This is NTV. This is NTV. This is
I pray that which who has been fighting you will look at you. Fear not!
God doesn't like cowards. He wants believers.
Just walk. Pick up your leg. Pick up your legs. Pick up your legs.
Kwene embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakugwamu mama
bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale
bweyagala nkubulira ebyange ja tugende emyanzi
mpulira banyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinansi e South Africa baba bakujerega obituufu
baba banjerega
oyo mufere mubbi yennyini yeetaaga miggo
omuntu wa bulijjo tomuzanyirangako abeeranga dormant volcano
bwemba mukkiriza nina takuwa mugiyita
ate takuwa gobeera mugoberezi tolowooza ndi mulimo oyogerera omusiraamu senga nakubuuza nti Katonda yagamba atya
oba oli pasita ng'okyawa olimba obba oyenda olina abakazi basatu please heaven is waiting for you. One day you'll pay and soon your time is out.
Otiisa mmoni.
Sitiisa. Nkubulira Yesu talimba.
Ebintu mbimala mulundi gumu. Kati what is I love peace.
Gwokola byo.
Wegase n'omusajja mutwale mabi.
I'm knocking. A message yali ku the last piece of
Kanyanate enaku z'omwezi twogera mu 12 omwezi gwa musanvu. Nga bulijjo tusooka ne tufuna emitwe emikulu olwo ne tubambaga. Okulonda mu Bukoto y'Amaserengeta awamu wabaddeyo obuvuyo ababaka ababadde bakwatiddwa Kayihura alagidde ne bateebwa. Bad Black ne Munne Ssentongo balaze ruzira ssente ze babbasi baakuzisasula. Abasirikale ba Kongo baddukira kuno bazziddwayo ewaabwe. Uganda esabye Kongo ereme kubabonereza. Okukuuma ekibuga Goma mu Kongo, UN yayungudde tank enwanyi. NTV Akawungeezi nze Frank Alisimbi nyongedde okukwaniriza katusookereko katono e Bukoto abalonzi n'abeesimbyewo eruddeyo mu Bukoto South emitima gibatujjira mu mitwe okubala obululu kukyagenda mu maaso abantu abagumbyeyo okumala ennaku eziwerako batubulidde nti okulonda kwatandise kikeerezi mu bitundu bingi era waliwo n'awabadde obuvuyo ekyavuddeko ababaka ba palamenti bana okukwatibwa. Ababaka poliisi batadde oluvannyuma abasasi bafeera abalabye abasajja babadde bakutte emiggo abakubye abantu mu kabuga kengereko senkulu wa kakiiko k'ebyokulonda n'avumirira nnyo ekikolwa ekyo. Mathias Nsubuga wa DP ne Alintuma Nsambo wa NRM be basinga okubeera ku mbiranye. Tujja kuba tukuwa eggulire eryo ekiseera kyonna. Okuddako e Kampala omuwala omuli w'ensimbi Bad Black na muyimbwa ne munnakibuga munne Medi Ssentongo bakitegedde leero nti bagenda kwebaka eruzira ekiseera ekiwera. Bombi bano omusango gw'okwekobaana ne babba ssente z'omuzungu David Greenhag gwabasinze. Black wakumala mukomera emyaka giriena ate Ssentongo emyezi 18 oba omwaka gumu n'emyezi 6. Omulamuzi Catherine Bamugemereire bw'abadde asindika bano mukomera agambye nti abagwira bagala bannayuganda babayambeko naye nga bannayuganda bateekwa okuba abantu abeesimbu naye nga bapulida b'abantu bano bakyalinze ekiragiro ekyokujulira.
Ssente zisibisiza Shanita Namuyimbwa ne munne Medi Sentongo zibabba ku muzungu David Greenhag zaali obukadde bwa $3.9 oba paundi za Bungereza obukadde 2.5 mu za Uganda obuwumbi 9 n'obukadde obugwamu. Namuyimbwa bana batajulidde wakoba kamukomera emyaka 4 ate munne Sentongo emyezi 18. Omulamuzi agambye ntalagidde bantu bano okukomyawo ssente ze babba kubanga nnyinizo David Greenhag teyateekamu buvunaanyizibwa ng'alonda abantu b'okukola nabo bizinesi mu Uganda. Bad Black yali akuba bwa malaya mu Kampala ku Rock Gardens. Obuyigirize bwe tebwasukka senior 1. Omulamuzi yeewuunyiza abantu abali bafunye omukisa okugenda okukyusa obulamu bwabwe kyokka ne basalawo okugwonoona mu myezi emitono. Kkooti ezudde nti enneeyisa ya Black ne Sentongo eraga kiki bannayuganda abamu kibali ku mutima.
NTV Akawungeezi abasirikale abakongo abasobako mu 6 baali baddukidde mu Uganda baziddwayo ewaabwe. Bano bonna baali beetegudde abayekera ba M23 abalwanira mu buvanjuba bwa Democratic Republic of Congo. Omubaka wa Congo owakuno Jean Pierre Masala yakwasiddwa abantu bano e Lusese Bwera okuliraana ensalo ya Uganda ne Congo.
Alarimana Sekerebanza Kabona Kisembo Lieutenant.
Abakuumaddembe bano basoose kkowoolebwa mannya gaabwe omu ku omu nga bwe baanukula nti weebali mu ngeri ey'okukakasa nti tewali n'omu abuzeewo kwabo abagambibwa okuyingira Uganda.
Kalongi Ngoya quick march left right.
Oluvannyuma bano baateereddwa ku loole y'amagye ga Congo era bwe batyo ne boolekera eggwanga lyabwe. Ebyokulwanyisa ebiwera omwabadde magazini z'amasasi nga nnyingi ddala, emmundu ezisoba mu 6, gulunedi, bradio kolo ne kalondo omulala yenna akozesebwa mu lutalo bano gwe bajja naye byonna byakwasiddwa abakungu ba Democratic Republic of Congo. Wabula ate waliwo abajaasi abamu ku bano abategeezezza nti ebimu ku bintu byabwe omuli kompyuta tebaabibaddiza.
Kano tulibakyana kompyuta 2 ekran 2 3 unité centrale imprimante moya.
For those of the items that were left with the police, at an appropriate time we shall have to hand them over to the Congolese forces.
Bwe yabadde assa omukono ku ndagaano y'okuzza abajaasi bano mu Congo, Odongo yategeezezza nti kano kabonero akalaga enkolagana ennungi eriwo wakati w'amawanga gano gombi.
We hope that with good neighborhood, DRC government will consider our request, and I strongly request that you deliver this message to President Kabila to allow us to flush out the ADF in DRC Congo.
Odongo era yasabye gavumenti ya Congo obutabonereza abajaasi bano olw'okudduka olutalo ng'agamba bwe bakikola mu kwetaasa abayeekera abaali babalumbye okubamalawo.
Tukyali ku nsonga za Congo. Amagye g'ekibiina ekitaba amawanga ki UN geebagaza ebyokulwanyisa ne goolekera ekibuga Goma. Abayekera ba M23 babulidde NTV olunaku lwajjo nti bakweza ekibuga kino singa UN tekikuuma abakirimu ne bakibeera mu mirembe. Wabula abakulu mu Congo bagamba nti amampaati agayitiridde mu bayekera bano gakubaggwa kasita banaamala ne balumba ekibuga Goma kubanga bajja kubakubirayo nabo bati.
Bwegate amagye g'ekibiina ky'amawanga amagatte wamu n'aga Congo bwe gali mu kulawuna ekitundu kino eky'eggoma. Waliwo okutya abayekera ba M23 bandirumba ekitundu kino ne bakiwamba essaawa yonna. Abayekera bano baleka ebitundu byamaze okwezza omuli n'ebyo biri okumpi n'ekibuga Goma. Amagye gano kati gagamba nti abayekera bano bagunywanga ne baguteesa kubanga singa baleeta amalala mu kibuga kino eky'eggoma kakubajuutuka. Ebyokulwanyisa by'amaanyi naddala ttanka biteereddwa mu bifo eby'enjawulo okusobola okwenganga abayekera bano singa bagezaako okulumba Goma. Omulimu gw'amagye g'amawanga amagatte kuba kukuuma mirembe era bagezezzaako nga basobola okwewala okulwana. Amagye ga Congo gazigeraga nga begalisa ebijanjala empiso era ebiseera ebisinga babadde babalumba nga basigulira abalumbaganyi. Wabula abakulu mu Congo bagamba nti amagye g'ekibiina ky'amawanga amagatte tegagenda mu kitundu kino kulwana era singa abayekera babalumba bo bennyini abakongo bebe okwerwanako.
If we say that the UN should be on the front line, it means we don't have an army. We have to do our job and they support us.
Mu kiseera kino kizibu okumanya kinaddirira naye ng'embeera ekyali ya bwerinde ddala.
Abasasi baffe abali mu Kongo eyo bategedde nti abayeekera balinda kiragiro kyokka okulumba akabuga akalala akayitibwa Ruchuri akesudde kilomita nga 50 okuva Bunagana ku nsalo ya Uganda ne Congo. Omu ku baduumizi b'abayeekera Kano Innocent Mugabe agamba nti ekibuga kino bakirekera poliisi n'amagye ga UN naye ekibalemeredde okukuuma. Bo abanoonyi b'obuddamu kirowoozebwa nti bagenda kweyongerwa olw'ebigambibwa nti ennyonyi za UN ne Congo ziriko ebikompola bizitandise okusuula ku bayeekera.
Mu kabuga kano akayitibwa Busanza abantu bagenda mu maaso n'emirimu gyabwe. Kano kali kumpi n'ensalo ya Uganda ne Congo era abatuuze bagamba nti wano abasirikale abaddukira mu Uganda we baayitira ng'embeera etabuse. Wabula bwe weeyongerako munda osanga ng'embeera egenda ekyuka kubanga abayeekera ba M23 bali mu kulawuna ebitundu bino. Ebitundu ebisinga okutunuulirwa n'eriiso ejjogi byebyo ebiri mu nsozi. Abantu bagamba nti embeera mu kibuga ky'Eruchuru ya bunkenke naddala mu kiseera kino ng'abajjasi ba gavumenti bamaze okukyeddiza. Ekibuga kino abayeekera bakibafuumuulamu ennaku 2 eziyise. Abantu baali badduseemu wabula we baddidde ng'ebintu byabwe bingi bimaze okubbibwa. Abayeekera kati bagamba nti balinda kiragiro kyokka emmundu eddemu eseke buto.
Cha kufanya alafu wakati wataamua tutajua na sisi cha kufanya, watatuparisha, watatuelezea, tutaona cha kufanya. Wakati viongozi wataamua tufike hapa tutafika, hawa tutetemeshe. Na hakuna kitu chochote, hakuna tishio katika mambo yote ambayo yako hapa mbele yetu. Chote kilicho mbele yetu tuko tayari kwa kupambana nacho.
Wabula abantu bagamba nti bakoye entalo kubanga buli kaseera bo be bafa. Abayeekera olwaleero balambuza bannamawulire eddwaniro lino ery'Ekalambi abajjasi ba Congo abawambibwa nga bafunye ebisago we bali mu kujjanjabirwa mu bukuumi obw'ekitalo. Mu kiseera kino wabula abatuuze bali mu kutya olw'ebyo ebiyinza okuddirira.
NTV Akawungeezi tukyagenda mu maaso mu ntandikwa wali nabadde mbabuulidde nti abalonzi n'abeesimbyewo mu Bukoto South emitima gitandise okubatujja obuteddiriza. Okubala obululu kwatandise dda ku ssaawa 11. Abantu abagumbye eyo okumala ennaku batubuulidde nti okulonda kwatandise kikereze mu bitundu ebiwerako ate awalala wabaddeyo obuvuyo ekyavuddeko n'ababaka ba paalamenti bana okukwatibwa. Wabula ababaka bano oluvannyuma poliisi batadde. Abasasi baffe era balabye abasajja babadde bakutte emiggo abakubye abantu mu kabuga kengereko. Wabula Ssenkulu w'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda omukulu Kigunda avumiridde nnyo ekikolwa kino. Mathias Nsibuga owa Democratic Party ne Yali Ntuma Nsambu owa National Resistance Movement be basinga okubeera ku mbiranye mu kulonda kuno.
Wakati ku ssaawa nga 8 ez'olweggulo walabiseewo ekibinja ky'abavubuka bakawuula ababadde batambulira mu kamonye 2 nga balina emmundu n'emiggo era balese batabangudde okulonda okubadde mu katawuni k'engereko.
ndabyo emiggo mu motoka eno nenga sari action. Yes, ndabyo omuntu mwalina olubale naye sibaddeewo
ogera lulinga ng'olutalo basanze nyimiridde awo olw'okuba balina be bagobye.
Wano we tuli kyekifo ekirondebwamu ekyangereko Trading Center nga weweesudde akabanga katono nnyo okuva n'awo awabadde akavuyo akabavubuka babadde bakubi b'emiggo. Gwendi naye wano ye musirikale atwala ekifo kino ekironderwamu katubulire ki ekibaddewo na kikyafunye. Afande ki ekibadde wano?
Actually sijja kulimba nnyo kubanga akavuyo kabadde mu distance nga mita 10 okuva ku Trading Center. Emotoka nazirengedde bulengezi kamunyezo ogerwako naye eri mu tawuni enkwatagana ey'abantu abadde bagamba mpulidde simanyi emotoka mulimu emiggo simanyi mubadde mu bimundu n'okulwana ne deployinga abasirikale bange bendi nabo okugenda okutaasa naye ng'ekibadde ekikulu mu byonna tubadde twagala kuggulira chairman wa Electoral Commission.
Weewaawo okulonda kutambudde bulungi mu bitundu ebimu awamu wabaddewo obuvuyo era ababaka ba paalamenti n'abantu 61 abalala bakwatiddwa poliisi ng'ebalanga kutabangula kulonda. Muno mubaddemu Kasibante Moses, Betty Namboze, Dr. Lulume Bayiga ne Muhammad Kauma.
Are disturbing us? We have, but she's a lady. People are disturbing us here.
Hello. Don't. We don't want any harm. Hello, call 99. Call that 99. Please.
I'm a supervisor.
Even if you are a supervisor, you are not supposed to bring havoc.
Wabula Senkulu wa polisi, Lieutenant General Kale Kaihura, alagidde abantu bano bateebwe. Ku ssomero lya Seke Secondary School, wabaddewo okwemulugunya okuva mu bantu ku nsonga ezitali zimu. Okulonda mu kutwaliza wamu kwatandise kikeerezi olw'ebikozesebwa okulwawo okutuuka mu bifo ebirondebwamu ng'ebifo ebisinga bitandise okulondesa ku ssaawa 2 so nga babadde balina okutandika ku ssaawa 1 ey'okumakya. Abeesimbyewo bo batandise okusuula obululu bwabwe ku ssaawa 4 nga muna FDC Julius Sentamu akalulu kakasuulidde ku Kasana Muslim Primary School ate yali Ntuma Nsambu ye muna DP Matia Nsubuga n'alondera ku ngereko Church of Uganda. We tujjidde ku mpewo ng'okubala obululu kugenda maaso naye ng'ebinaava mu kulonda bisuubirwa kulangirira mu kiro ekikese olwaleero.
Weewaawo tujja kuba tubatuusaako byonna ebikwata ku kulonda okwo. NTV Akawungeezi ekyagenda maaso eri n'eddakiika 13 tukomawo n'ekitundu ekyokubiri. Erira abaana abatulugunyizibwa bakadde baabwe baddukidde ku poliisi. Ababaka mu Parliament bawera kulwanyisa nguzi baagala obuyinza bwa President bukendere.
This is NTV.
Is it spiritual?
Isn't it loved?
And above all, isn't life really drama?
Find out what life is and what it can be every Thursday at 11 p.m. with repeats on Friday and Sunday at 12:30 p.m.
Ideally, we all have the right to express our opinions and views truthfully and openly.
Atele long tugenda katongole mbukasam.
Kampala
The discussion is still going on in the bus.
Tulina okugumira challenges ezimu bwe tuba tulina okugoba abatembeeyi mwami Lukwago agumanga abatembeeyi mugende mbadde ngala kunyonyola omwami yagambye nti meya Lukwago ye meya omutuufu.
Gavumenti ekutte Lukwago emunyigira mu nsonga takyekyusa.
Welcome back to Minibus Kyogereko.
Singa omusajja abankwana nga njagala sifa ku kya ssente wabula afa ku mbeera yeyisa
alimba ono
This is Minibus Kyogereko.
Work has been defined by different scholars. Some think it is an art.
These are the blood types that are in human beings. We have A.
When a chemical reaction takes place, it involves two things.
We are given a straight line that has been denoted by 2x minus y is equal to 6.
It's 4:30 p.m. Feel the music.
Try out your favorite dance strokes. Watch the latest music videos from artists around the world as you dance to the beat.
Girl, you got me screaming fiesta. Body language saying whatever.
Only on The Beat, Monday to Friday on NTV, your official groove station.
Mu mawulire amalala poliisi erira eri wakati mu kusoberwa olw'abantu abatalina nsonyi okwongera okukabasanya abaana. Kumpi lunaku poliisi efuna omusango gwekuusa ku nsonga eno. Abaana abalala bakubwa era abamu teri abafaako. Abawerako badduse waabwe nga banoonya ayinza okubajuna.
Akelo Jennifer ne munne yamwerekeddeko batambudde kilomita ezisukka mu 7 okuva mu disitulikiti ya Pachi era basibidde ku poliisi wane Lira. Akelo yabadde adduka ku jjajjaawe gwagamba nti bwe bamusindikayo abadde amuyisa bubi omuli n'okumumma emmere ng'abazira kisa olumu be babaako ke bamusuulira naye yalabye embeera eyongera kwonooneka kwe kuddukayo.
So our intention was to go and stay with the mother simply because the grandmother is disturbing her.
Aba babiri poliisi si beetubidde nabo bokka. Omulenzi ono naye yakubiddwa mulirwana effumu mu mutwe bunga amulanga gwa kwonoona mmere mu nnimiro ye.
We are not treating him. They just been taken to hospital. He's getting treatment. But that woman, we are going to bring her on board for investigation.
Poliisi mu kitongole ky'abaana wanerira egamba nti emisango gy'abaana gibayitiriddeko mu disitulikiti era ng'okusinga giva ku butabanguko mu maka.
Whereby you find a man having 3 women with 15 children. Already come to the time of giving them support. They said, me, I'm hopeless. I don't have money to help these children. Who produce them?
Bwe batyo kati balowooza ku kyakusomesa bazadde mu bitundu ebyenjawulo ku bikwatagana n'eddembe ly'abaana.
NTV Akawungeezi ababaka beegattira mu kibiina ekirwanyisa enguzi n'okubba ssente z'eggwanga bagamba nti si bakuttira muntu yenna ku liiso. Bategeeza nti bwe kuba kuva mu NRM bajja kugivaamu naye nga yo enguzi bwe bambogo bajja kujaŋŋanga baginyweze n'amayembe. Bajukiza President Museveni nti alekeraawo okubikirira baminisita abazze banokolwayo mu by'okubulankanya ssente. Bagalera wabeewo ennongoosereza mu ssemateeka eneekendeeza obuyinza President bw'alina.
Kigambo ekikwatagana n'obuli bw'enguzi twagala bakakasa in fact obubbi twagala bakakasa nti tugenda kirwanyisa n'amaanyi gonna ge tunaasobola okuteekamu mukama nga ye mubeezi waffe. Tulowooza nti ekyokulongoosa mu ssemateeka tulongoose mu buwayire obumu obugezi obuwa ennyo president obuyinza obusukkiridde.
Kiba kizibu nnyo omuntu ogamba nti ekintu nkiyina ekintu nkikutte kitambuza kigenda mu maaso ate nkera ntuwulira nti bakubye ssente wansi w'ekitanda naye omuntu bw'atandika ofulumiza ssente mu State House olowano mu bbanka banaakola batya so si ekiseera batubulire tumanye oba eggwanga tebasobola kubeera encharge fe tufune plan B.
Abavubuka tibalina mirimo bali awo bali ku street bafuna degrees balina na masters ne PhDs naye tibalina mirimo naye buli kaseera abantu babba.
Bebamu ku babaka abo nga beewerera abali b'enguzi. Amyuka RDC w'Emityana omukyala Namijumbi abadde n'abapoliisi ezigoti ne bakola ekikwekweto ku babbi. Bazudde omusajja nga ali ku transformer y'amasannyalaze yagipangulula nga gy'oli Bumeme yamuwandiise ku mulimu gw'okukanika. Isaac Ntume alinze kunnyonnyola eyamutumye okukola bino byonna.
Bino bibadde mu katawuni k'Ezigoti mu disitulikiti y'Emityana ng'akwatiddwa Isaac Ntume abadde yeekukumye mu loogi ya Ziwena nga mutuuze w'e Katuugo mu ggombolola y'e Bukuya mu disitulikiti y'e Mubende.
Kati bamutadde ku mpingu. Bamutadde nti ku mpingu bamutwala.
Akubira bwerere sira kyemmanyi. Ekikubya sikimanyi ekyo ekyakusula wano sikimanyi.
Nasangiddwa ne transformer ng'agisumudde nga kw'otadde obwambi makansi n'ebisumuuzo ebyakazibwako eri Master Key.
Tulya bino nga babijjako ebintu tulowooza banku naye nga tuli abantu tebavaawo omulala ne bambuuza nti kiki ekigenda mu maaso netufulume bwe tetulingizaako naye olwokubaddewo akazikiza tetwalina kitwakoze eki kyetwalabyewo kyonna kyonna wabula okukeera ku nkya kati nga batulaga nti waliwadde transformer yabbiddwa esangiddwa ng'eri mu kayunga.
Okukwatibwa kwe kuddiridde abatuuze okwekubira enduulu mu b'obuyinza ng'ababbi babasuuza ku tebuukye. Isaac Ntume asoose kwegaana naye oluvannyuma ategeezezza nga bw'alina mukama we ategerekeseko erya Meja. ono wakusimbibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka janannyonnyolera ebisingawo.
Eby'emitiana nabyo bwe bityo tugenda kulaba akatale k'ensimbi nga bwe kabadde Kampala olunaku olwaleero.
Akatale k'ensimbi kakutuusibwako
URA, developing Uganda together.
All vehicles are required to revalidate their registration using our new online module and get a new logbook. All newly imported vehicles will also be registered online.
Ebyo bigenze okuggwa nga ziri kumpi 20 eziyise ku ssaawa emu. Katuumulemu tukomewo n'amawulire okuva mu by'emizannyo.
Saturday afternoons just got better on NTV with Exposed. Join Cats and the Platinum DJs as they bring you some mad DJ skills and crazy video mixes.
You're now rocking with the best. Catch us every Saturday as we live. We'll take you through an experience you'll never forget.
Remember to call in with your music requests and also get a chance to win some incredible goodies. Every Saturday from 1:30 p.m. only on NTV, the station that digs your music.
You done make me fall in love. Second time round.
To be honest, it's one of the most scary genres of music for me. For me every day. Irifemasi nisu tadi magero.
No one feels the motherland like we do. So tune in every day at 6 p.m. and Fridays from 11 p.m. for the best in homegrown music.
Mu by'emizannyo ttiimu ya Uganda ey'abaddusi yakusigala nga etendekebwa mu Kenya wakati mu kwetegekera empaka za Olympics ezitandika ku nkomerero y'omwezi guno. Kino kikoleddwa kubanga embeera y'obudde mu kitundu gye bali efaananako n'eyo mu London awagenda okubeera emizannyo gino.
Ekibiina ekikulira abaddusi ba Uganda ekya Uganda Athletics Federation kisazizzaamu eky'okutwala abaddusi abagenda okukiikirira eggwanga mu Olympics e Kabaale mu kwetegekera empaka zino. Abaddusi bano baakusigala nga beetegekera ekkweni mu Kenya gye bagambye nti obudde bwayo bulinga obwa Bungereza.
One, we looked at the climate. Two, we looked at the period the athletes will need to adjust. Three, we looked at the interest of the athletes. And since most of them have been training in Iteni, many of them preferred they will remain in Iteni.
Era eyo gye bajja okusinziira okugenda mu Bungereza ku nkomerero y'omwezi guno okwetaba mu mpaka zino. Omuddusi Jacob Araptan akakazza nga bwagenda okukoma abana Kenya abazze beefuga emidaali gy'embiro zino.
I know the trick they have been using. I've got the trick. The way they trained.
Akakodyo abana Kenya ke bakozesa okudduka emisinde emiwanvu nkazudde era guno omulundi ngenda kubalagako.
Challenge them. I'll have to show them that there's a man with them.
Ekibinja ekisooka kyakusitula nga 22 omwezi guno okwetaba mu mpaka zino eza Olympics.
ebya Olympics nayo bwe bityo. Malik Kalisa era ate yapatikibwako erinnya lya The Hitman agamba nti mwetegefu okuwangula Titus Tugume bwe bagenda okulwana olunaku lujja kubeera lwankyawe mu mpaka eza kickboxing. Empaka zino zigenda kubeera mu kisaawe e Lugogo.
Enkya manye ejja kubeera nnungi atrainize nange ntrainize bulungi nina coach omulungi nga bw'omulaba era omumanyi mu bitabo byo. Yesebo tetugenda koma ku national title. Dream yaffe yakubeera world champion era oluva ku national title mba noonya East African champion.
Malik is concentrating for the fight, so we take out everything, just important the fight, no speaking too much, just training. He training a lot, so no mistake. I don't want mistake because I want that he win.
NTV Akawungeezi bwetyo bwegenze olwayo tetugenda kufuna ntebereza ya budde naye nga wowe Kampala wetusinzira okuweereza walabiseeyo ku lukuba olutonotono n'ebitundu ebimu ebiyiranye Kampala. Kaakati n'amawulire amalala gajja kuba gajja ku ssaawa 3 oluvannyuma tujja kufuna on the spot ate amawulire amalala gajje naye nga tujja kuba tukuwa byonna ebigenda maaso mu ggwanga okulonda e Bukoto n'ebirala kutwaliza wamu. Sina kirala kyakubagamba okujjako okubagaliza ebirungi ebyerere. NTV Akawungeezi ekomawo ku Monday enkya NTV ku ssaawa 1 okutuuka ku Sunday. Musire bulungi.
This is NTV. This is NTV. is NTV.
Hello and welcome to Log In, where you get logged in and granted access to all of the wonderful things in the capital of happening, Kampala. So many things that I love to do. Dancing is definitely one of them. I love dancing, I love watching dances, you know, from traditional dances to Chigunda dances. But this weekend we were at the Contemporary Dance Festival in Kampala, and there were dances from all over the world. Dances from America, Japan, Rwanda, even right here in Uganda. Amazing festival. Take a look.
Jingles in your dance for you.
The Dance Transmissions Festival has been amazing. There's been so much variety and so much growth, especially from the local dancers, and it's been great to have companies from other countries. There was Congo, Tanzania, Kenya, even South Africa and the US. So it's nice to kind of put ourselves against where we stand.
This particular piece is memoirs from our childhood, our primary school days. And so we remembered that we had classes in between. There was the class, and we tried to identify with each of them. And so we found that we could just relate with each of the groups, because we knew they were like hot and everyone liked them and stuff. And so then comes the nerd, you know, and in every class I guess there's a nerd.
I love the witchcraft thing. It was so real. Of these are things we hear about. The witch. Yeah, it was witchcraft. The night dancers, because this is something we see. This is something every other day you hear when you're in the village. Yeah, actually those guys night dance, and when the body is dead, they can make it move. So it was so real.
The reason why we came up with this concept was to try and develop audience for contemporary dance, promote professional choreography, and help the upcoming dancers and choreographers to learn how to reinterpret, assess other people's choreographic generations and creations.
dance theatre kind of form, and we're exploring how it is to be a woman in a man's world. So we took the theme of boxing, which isn't a sport that women really do so often. And yeah, we looked at the struggle, sort of the boxing ring as a metaphor for a battlefield. Yeah.
The whole dance piece is like a thirst of the best, a quest to reconquer that candlelight that is burning in every. Want to get to a better place. We all want peace, to live happily in harmony. And that is, for me, a message I want to give to Rwanda, to Ugandans, to Kenyans, to Zimbabwe, Somali, everywhere that there is conflict. This dance piece is for you. This dance piece is for peace. And that's the main message for me.
Interesting when you learn interesting dances. But speaking of new things, my dad tells me that in Uganda, when cell phones were new, there was only one mobile operator, Celtel. So everyone went on to call their mobile phones Celtel. Anyway, Celtel became Zain, and Zain has now become Airtel. Airtel is officially in Kampala. I attended a launch at the Kampala Serena last weekend, and it was just amazing. Breathtaking decor and a beautiful performance by 3 of the 1-8 artists, Amani, JK, and our very own Navio. Take a look. Well, new things are very amazing to learn. There's a new mobile operator in town. And there's a new show on air, although we're not so new, some people will say. Anyway, take a break and we'll be right back after the commercial break. You're watching Log In. You're still watching Log In. Now throughout the show, I've been going on and on about new things. But it's because I like new things. New things are nice. And when I learn something new, I get to brag. This weekend, I definitely learned something new at Makerere University. The Music, Dance and Drama Department had 200-year anniversary paying tribute to Chopin. Now, Chopin is Frédéric François Chopin, Polish composer and one of the great masters of romantic music. Some of Uganda's most distinguished pianists paid tribute. Take a look.
The event is meant to stimulate talent in those aspiring musicians, as well as enliven the memories of Chopin, who had a profound effect in the field of classical music, especially in romantic music. And this type of music will even go further down the millennia to come. As opposed to music which is full of words. The words will soon fade away, cultures may change, languages may fade away, but this one stays forever.
Performance from some of Uganda's most distinguished pianists. Now, piano concert is always live and intimate and nice. Sometimes you need more instruments. You need a drum here, a bass here, something to liven up the mood. To feel like you're at a live concert, but not too far away from the artist. Now, at Unplugged, you can actually reach out and touch the musician. This month was Omulangira Suna's turn, OS. And he was accompanied by Aziz Azion, Jamal, Dr. Jose Chameleon, and a number of others. Unplugged this month was off the hook. Take a look.
Send dedication to the Veneto. Oh, oh. Nebona bansirise, ndimira wansobi wangu, muzango ya chiche, agambe chachawa, nasube mchinya, ndi mulongo lwangu, zikizamwe kute, pamatawa matawa, yakeze na bagaga, ladies are for lady, abafuga zipenzi, zinansu. Steady. Jagalo kumanya chichi chenako. Tuimbe mufena. Jagalo kumanya mazima chenako la chetonde. Jagalo kumanya chichi chenako la chingambe. Jagalo kumanya mazima.
Suna's performance has been good. Yeah, the turn up has been good. The live too, they did it quite good. The live band.
Jade chakavinyo mwana nafe nokunzija mu bulwadde ni wakavinya kya best nalo. Knowledge.
We're happy, had a blast. It was wonderful. Suna is very, very, very talented.
Everything was so amazing tonight. The show was so marvelous. I really thank my fans. The turn-up was so good. It was unbelievable. I thank my fellow artists. It was so good for them to come and really help me out.
It's been a fair performance. Nice.
Yo, this is the baby love, the number one DJ, the baby rock. Log in, NTV.
When I come in out the best, be just a bomb in out the best Batman or else I'm not a gambler. You're logged to log in. Keep logging. You're logged. NTV OS.
Unplugged was very exciting. Now stay tuned to log in because we'll be right back with the buzz, a variety of KSA after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
If you thought President Museveni's hit single "You Want Another Rap" was the last music you hear from him, think not. Mr. Museveni now plans to take time off his busy schedule to record and release an entire album of songs. Now we all know the president speaks a number of languages. Wonder if he'll be able to rap in these languages too. According to the new issue of Star magazine, Britney Spears was beaten by her boyfriend Jason Troward during an alleged phone conversation with ex-husband Jason Alexander, who, by the way, she was married to for 55 hours back in 2004. Britney revealed that Troward representatives for the toxic singer and her agent turned lover were quick to deny the story. Britney also reported that not only did Troward give her a black eye, but he also cheated on her with a teenager not identified. Despite all the denial, RadarOnline.com acquired an audio recording of the conversation between Britney and her ex, in which this tape appears to be the smoking gun in this tape. Which music superstars will be vying for trophies at the 53rd Annual Grammy Awards, and who scored the most nods? The Recording Academy announced the nominees during the star-studded Grammy Nominations Concert Live Wednesday night on CBS. Eminem led the pack with 10 nominations, Bruno Mars scored 7, and Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, and Lady Antebellum each earned 6. The nominees for Best New Artist nominees are Justin Bieber, Drake, Florence and the Machine, Mumford & Sons, and Esmeralda Spalding. Record of the Year nominees include Nothing on You, B.O.B. featuring Bruno Mars, Love the Way You Lie, Eminem featuring Rihanna, F.U., CeeLo Green, Empire State of Mind, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, and Need You Now, Lady Antebellum. Discs nominated for Album of the Year are The Suburbs, Arcade Fire, Recovery, Eminem, Need You Now, Lady Antebellum, and The Fame Monster, Lady Gaga, Teenage Dream, Katy Perry. The list is long, but catch the 53rd Annual Grammy Awards on Sunday, February 13th, 2011, 8 p.m. on CBS.
And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while.
Yeah, I know you wanna dance. Can't figure out why y'all said it's over. The club's acting about to blow over.
America's Next Top Model, Cycle 15 on Wednesday. Impressed the judges with her commercial good looks, they found Anne's look to be more editorial and ultimately gave the title to 6'2" Dallas student Anne. A tearful Anne says she felt honored by the win and couldn't even believe it, cherishing her own win after suffering comments about being too tall, just being too normal. Chelsea, for her part, had no. I feel cheated. I feel the whole package, and I don't think Anne does. And that's all we had for you this week from Login. We'll be back same place, same time next week. It's just been so great doing events. Get even better. Anything to say, log in at ntv.co.ug. That's our email address. I'm your host, Susan Nava, and I'm logging out.
is NTV.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Art and Design Show. Coming up, we get up close and personal with the renowned playwright, we explore the ancient art of these and more stories coming up. In this part of the show, we meet renowned playwright Alex Mukulu, and he talks about the plays he has written and the reasons behind them. The roots of African theatre are ancient and complex and deeply embedded in our history. Our content and theatrical styles are a result of our traditional folklore and centuries of colonialism. In East Africa, we have Penina Muhando of Tanzania, Francis Mbuga of Kenya, and in Uganda, Alex Mukulu. Alex Mukulu is a born playwright who started to write at the age of 10 and has not looked back since. Since 1977, he has written a play every year.
I was a scout cub. You know the cubs, those young boys who are not yet scouts but intended to become scouts. And there was a scouts festival in the National Theatre. I was then studying in Namiryango Junior Boys School. So the sisters, the nuns, asked me to write this play. And I wrote it. It was called Kabangala Sasud. Kabangala is my grandfather. There's legends about him that he did something which caused him to be nicknamed Kabangala Sasud.
30 Years of Bananas and Radio Mambo Bado are notably the most famous of his plays.
And 30 Years of Bananas, I think most people talk about it because it really was about them. It was about us. It was about Ugandans and what they went through. So it had very close sentiments to the people. And I think that's why they enjoyed it and talked about it. It was dealing with people they knew. And for the first time, we are talking about presidents, which had never happened.
Alex believes that plays should be able to expose what is happening in our society and not fiction.
You must have something that makes you angry. If you have something that makes you angry, then you have a reason to write something down. But if you don't have anything which makes you angry, you'll never sit down to write anything. So the art of writing, I think, is about having something you are angry about.
Countless numbers around the world have blindly put their faith in the order of the uniform, but instead have come to grief. Is this what you wanted for this country?
Alex does insist that plays should be written to depict on what is happening around us, rather than fiction.
Some people write about things they don't know about. For example, you write about millionaires, you know, when you are not. You act being a doctor. You know, you write about the hospital when you really don't know anything about a hospital. You write about a bank when you don't know about it. You write about marriage when you don't know anything about it. So the difference is that I don't write fiction. I write things I've seen, I've known. Perhaps there's a little exaggeration, but normally they are things, history, characters I know, girlfriends I have been with, my friends. So I really bring those.
Captain Binaisa replaced him by some supporters from Kilasha. His idea was to put all the players on a train wagon and take them to a national tour to refresh their minds.
Just as Alex once said, people are sharpened by people just as steel is sharpened by steel. And with more than 30 plays under his belt, he still believes that his best is yet to come.
Every well-done thing inspires me. And there are people who do good things. In terms of music, you can mention lots of people. Huma Sekela, I like Huma Sekela, inspires me. I like Yosundu, Serif Keita, I like Miriam Makeba, I like Manu Dibango. In theater, I'm inspired by Wole Soyinka. From childhood, I was always looking, up to Wole Soyinka, the Chinua Achebes, those people, African writers who started writing, I don't have any individual dancer who has inspired me much, apart from perhaps almost Michael Jackson, because he would do a perfect job. But I enjoy the African dances which are really well done in terms of their authenticity, like the Ntori from Rwanda, like the South African wood dance, like our Lunyege here, and sometimes Ding Ding and Bora. I like dances with energy. I like well done, precise, tight dances.
Alex's dedication to his art is so good that people find it hard to discern whether he's serious or not. In this part of the show, we bring you the ancient art of henna painting, which goes back 9,000 years. Of late, there has been a renewed interest in this art form. It has now been accepted worldwide as an art in self-expression and individuality. Henna painting has its roots in spirituality and has been linked with marriage, birth, and death. This art of body decoration is a practice that is probably one of the older forms of art, especially in North Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Henna dye comes from the leaves of the henna plant. Fresh henna leaves have a very earthy scent. When the paste is made with a proper mixture of henna powder, lemon, and eucalyptus oil, you get a distinctive henna fragrance. Many professional henna artists today draw their designs from all the diverse cultures they encounter and infuse them into their work. Today we meet Maria Mohammed, who is a professional henna artist. She has designed her fair share of women in her long career. Mariam's skill has obviously grown over the 10 years she has been practicing, and she plans to open a henna design school. To the untrained eye, the process may seem chicken feed, but don't be fooled. It takes a lot of skill to get the patterns and designs neatly placed onto the body. Mariam, because of her experience, makes the whole process seem so easy and fast. Her skilled strokes take you on a pleasant and hypnotic journey. Upon arrival at her home, we are given a brief background on henna design from Mariam's daughter, Kamar.
They mix it with thinner. They first pour thinner in it, then again they pour water, then they mix it, and it's left for some time to produce its color. If it's shining, we can put it outside so that it can get a little bit heat or fire. After some time, and there are two colors, the red one and the black one. The red one is mixed the way I've told you, and the black one, it's mixed as in with only water. And that one doesn't need any time to produce its color. It's already ready, as in if it's mixed, it's ready to use.
Many of us, if not at all, have come across women with henna designs painted onto their hands or legs, and maybe assumed that this kind of art is restricted to Muslims or people with Arabic heritage. But the reality is that henna designs are available, look beautiful and different, especially towards their wedding days and parties.
For her right now, it's the bridal. They've finished the chest and also the hands here. So it's on the hands now. After doing that, when she finishes doing this hand and the others plus the leg, she'll begin filling. I'll help her filling in the red color.
It is important to note that these designs are not permanent, as the skin exfoliates over time, causing the henna design to fade. If you want them to stay longer, we've got a few tips for you.
You don't have to do a lot of work for it to go off. If you want it, you can keep it. You don't have to be in water all the time so that the color stays there. And after it dries and they finish for her right now, she'll put some Vaseline or Vicks for her to bring out the color.
Henna is an all-natural, healthy way to explore body art. Some people believe henna brings good luck and prosperity to the wearer. So go on and get yourself a henna design. Not only will it enhance your beauty, who knows, maybe Lady Luck will shine on you. From the art of henna painting, we now indulge in the fine art of tasting wine. Do you simply drink wine or do you just taste wine? Anyone can drink wine, but it takes practice to be able to recognize and distinguish a wine's characteristics. If you are new to the wine arena, you may be confused by the jargon on the wine labels, not confident when ordering wine at a restaurant, or making a selection for a special occasion. Differences between a rose and a blush wine.
A selection of wines with Petit Chablis, Chablis, Chablis Premier Cru and Chablis Grand Cru.
On this week's show, we get an exclusive opportunity to chat to a wine cellar master, who may be referred to in layman's language as a wine taster. The anxiety of picking up the perfect wine to accompany food can often be paralyzing. Understanding the characteristics of wine relate to its body and taste will make choosing the right wine easy.
So the first step in the Chablis region is the Petit Chablis. And the Petit Chablis is a wine planted on a plate, a very easy wine to taste as a pre-dinner drink. And usually we serve it very chilled and drink it very young as an appetizer. It's a very enjoyable wine.
Surprisingly, white wine can be made from either the white or black grapes, as all grape juice is initially colorless. Red, on the other hand, is made from black grapes that are fermented with the wine and peats. Wine producers worldwide are constantly developing new ranges of reds that are smoother, more rounded, and juicier. These styles range from light and refreshing to sweet and fortified.
The wine is really subjective. You just have to enjoy the wine, and sometimes you will like a certain style and people would like another style. It's really personal.
Wine supplements a meal, bringing out the flavor of the food and characteristics of the wine simultaneously. Why is it that you should always drink whichever wine you prefer? Well, we have some tips as to why and also how to enhance your dining experience.
First, you choose the grape. So you're going to have, for the white, you're going to have Sauvignon or Chardonnay. It's a first step. And then you look at the appellation. So you're going to have Petit Chablis or Chablis, and it depends which level you would like to get. And then the vintage and the style you had, the weather you had on that specific vintage. And the second one I have is a Chablis Fleur d'Acacia 2005. It's a wine which is a step higher to the Petit Chablis, planted on the hills all around the Chablis village. And it's very round and rich with a classic style of Chablis with a strong base of mineral. We can serve it with seafood, with white meats or poultry. It's longer in mouth and very, very good balance. And then the other one I have is a Fourchaume 2004. It's a wine which is served usually with oysters and fine textured fishes. It's a very high level of quality, and it's a wine that we are used to keep a little bit to get more complexity. And then the last one I have is Chablis Grand Cru 04. It's the best quality you can find in Chablis, and it's called L'Éclos. It's the most well-known Chablis Grand Cru of the 7 you have in the vineyard, and it's perfect with lobster, with crawfish or goose liver, and it's very pure and it's unique for the quality of Chablis.
Well, there are some rules about matching wines with food. It is important to satisfy your own taste first. A general rule is that reds are great to drink with heavier meals, and whites are suited better for items lighter on your palate.
And then if you go up into the range and taste a Chablis or even a Fourchaume, you will wait after 7 to 10 years to get the full complexity of the wine. And for the Grand Cru, you can wait until 10 to 15 years. So then you will expect a characteristic from the vintage. But first you have to know exactly what kind of appellation you're drinking.
And there you have it. Next time you're shopping for wine, do note the best way to gain a sense of appreciation is by trying different wines. That brings us to the end of the Art and Design Show. Join us next time for more stories. For now, remember that in the end, it is not the years of your life that count, it is the life in your years. For comments, please email us on artanddesign@ntvuganda.co.ug, and do enjoy the rest of your viewing.
This is NTV.
Showcase Uganda. We visit NTV. See you then. Today on Showcase Uganda, we visit one of Africa's greenest cities and explore its abundant sights. In 1995, the Ugandan government launched an ecotourism initiative. The goal was to ensure that Uganda got a share in the burgeoning domestic and international tourism business. At the same time, the government was determined to protect Uganda's environment and culture. Ugandan society is still predominantly rural, with traditional customs and lifestyles flourishing. Uganda's population consists of 40 tribes with a vast repertoire of styles, rhythms and languages, all intrinsically linked. And what better way to begin to understand and experience this than by journeying through and showcasing the variety of attractions Uganda's capital city Kampala has to offer. Kampala is Uganda's capital city and derives its name from the Luganda word Kasozika Impala, meaning hills of antelopes. It is said that in the 19th century, Buganda kings used to graze impala on the slopes of a hill near the Mengo Palace. Kampala is one of the greenest cities in Africa, with a beauty that gives way to astounding views. Straddled across the lush green hills of this tropical landscape, Kampala is the center of commercial life and the seat of government. Approximately 1.5 million people, Kampala is a fast-growing city, a vibrant modern metropolis that still manages to retain its distinctive African character. Nakasero Market, located in downtown Kampala, is renowned for its fresh food and fruit and is frequented by both residents and visitors due to its proximity to the central business district as well as attractive prices. The daily hustle and bustle of the marketplace show Kampala's ability to grow and develop, yet retain much of its customary charm. Five kilometers from the city center on the Kampala-Hoima Road is Kasubi Hill, a royal palace enclosure first built in 1881. The Kasubi tombs, also known as the Sekabaka's tombs, are the royal tombs where 4 former Kabakas or kings of Buganda are buried. The 4 royal tombs lie within the Muzibu Azala Mpanga, which is circular and surmounted by a dome. It's a major example of an architectural achievement using reed, wattle, bark, wood and thatch. Each of the 52 rings that surround the dome are reflective of the Buganda clans. The tomb's main significance lies in its spirituality, continuity and identity for the Baganda. It's the most active religious site in the kingdom. Since kings in the Buganda culture are believed to be immortal, they are all given the privileges and rights of the living king. This donation helps maintain the descendants of the royal family who live within the tomb site and aids in the upkeep of the site. Souvenirs are also readily available for those who want a keepsake of this spiritual experience. A visit to the sacred Kasubi tombs is a must for all who live, visit, or are simply passing through Kampala. The Uganda Museum is another site steeped in culture and history. It is a great place for a day out with friends and family. Located in Kamuchar, the Uganda National Museum aims to preserve, restore and display elements of Ugandan history. The many items on show are varied in their historic significance and demonstrate a tangible link between past and present. Its accessibility and convenience makes the museum a must visit for all. A small entrance fee may be charged, but fees vary from adults and children. But perhaps one of Kampala's most revered tourist sites to date, and another must-see for all, is the Baha'i Temple located on Kikaya Hill on the outskirts of the city. This unique and magnificent place of worship opened its doors to the public in 1962. The temple is open to peoples of all religious faith. It soars above every other landmark, projecting harmony and peace. The temple is the only of its kind in Africa. Each continent has only one Baha'i temple. You are bound to find a visit here inspiring. Visitors are encouraged to spend time in the gardens, meditating and praying. While there, remember to respect the Baha'i rules. No littering, no alcohol, no smoking, and please don't pick the flowers. When Showcase Uganda returns, we discover Kampala's hotels and hangouts. Barely 10 minutes away from the city center, Didi's World along Gaba Road offers a variety of entertainment activities for the young and young at heart. This entertainment center is open 7 days a week and is an ideal weekend break for the kids. For those who find that they may have a bit more time on their hands living in or visiting Kampala and are ardent golfers or simply enjoy good sportsmanship, the Uganda Golf Club is just the place for you. The club is renowned for its well-maintained greens, professional caddies, and accommodating memberships. In fact, the golf club is considered one of the best courses in East Africa. It's a great place to relax and unwind with family and friends. With a growing number of foreign and domestic visitors traveling to Kampala each year, this bustling metropolis responds hospitably to the dining out and entertainment needs of its visitors. The hotel industry is also booming. There are a variety of 4- and 5-star hotels conveniently located within and around Kampala. They offer world-class services and packages which can be customized to your traveling needs. So whether experiencing Kampala alone, with friends or family, the type of accommodation you may be looking for is easily available at affordable rates. "20 minutes drive from Kampala city is Peak Resort Munyonyo. Besides its resplendent beauty, Munyonyo is famous for its horse riding facilities.
Cute look at, very cute. And during horse riding, I can forget everything, and feel we can win. Uganda's horse very nice, very educated, very educated like him, and landscape of lake, nature, everything very nice.
Horse riding is an interesting, let me say, game. Yeah, this is the first horse riding stable in Uganda. We really love it as Ugandans because it's the first opportunity as we Ugandans we have taken advantage of.
As the day gets hotter, you can cool down in this swimming pool while enjoying the great view. To ensure easy facilitation, you can use cash, check, or credit card. For those who love shopping, Kampala also offers a variety of malls that cater to a diverse and varied taste. Products on offer range from the basics to the more impulsive. Showcase Uganda returns. Kampala city is famed for its variety of nightclubs with experienced DJs. Its cosmopolitan atmosphere guarantees fun evenings out, and for the so inclined, checking a leg or two is recommended.
I never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Picasa. Shakira, Shakira.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, and my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. Ay, 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 to the bambo, la gloria te está esperando. Latino, africano, asiático, americano, tu Dios te está mirando. Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body.
This is NTV.
Welcome to Tricksters. I'm your man, Peter. Now, for many of us, we think that to get conned, it needs to be an elaborate, well thought out scheme. Not really. For the next 30 minutes, you're going to witness how you can get conned without much effort. Have a look.
Previously on Tricksters, witchcraft or concraft, a lady fell victim of her own superstitions.
And remember the rules, don't look behind. When you go there, Kaji, where are you taking the bag?
Yeah, don't look behind.
Don't, yeah, Barakasara. Don't, yeah. Wait.
A customer's good deal turned into rags.
Got money. Money. Money mix. Mkubi, kakati. Sigara huwa.
Kati zake leka.
Where is the man who was here? Where is the man who was here?
No, I don't know who is here.
No.
Any problem?
There was a man who gave me this trouser.
What's the problem?
Look at the trouser he gave me. Look at the trouser. This is not what I bought.
So this is UK, please. From the UK.
Sure.
Okay? Please get up. Maybe you're in the wrong place.
And a sales girl learnt the rule of money first.
Wallet ndabika njerabidde wali mu motoka ku dashboard. Kati mpaye emitwalo 4. Kuba nina emitwalo 10 obw'etaano so ati mbukuwe uleetera change tusobole okwanguya.
And today, Albert, Edwin, and Felix are on the prowl once more. Watch out for their victims. Coming up on the show, a man gets robbed in broad daylight with everyone looking. A lovely surprise turns sour.
Please, John, give the headphone.
And a quick-witted conductor makes a quick buck.
Now, I wonder, when a person is mad, do they think they're normal like everybody else, or they know that they're mad? And how sure you're not mad?
Shopping in the city can be done in any number of ways. Some shoppers know what they want, where to buy it, and so they go for it. Other shoppers prefer to enjoy the experience. They browse around for some time until they are satisfied and then make their choice. Conmen prefer the latter type. It gives them time to identify a victim who has money, and then they lay their plans of relieving him of some of it. Albert and Edwin are lying in wait outside a shop. Their target? Godfrey. Godfrey has been shopping around for a radio, unaware that he is being followed and is now the target of an elaborate scheme. The moment he appears, they make their first move. Edwin talks to the conductor, who will unknowingly help them with their plan.
There you have to get another taxi. Fuluma muzei,
waje kuulira nyige.
Twatule najera.
Obadde otya?
Chichi.
Kakati batulagiridde omusawo enajera. Tumutwala. Otaye twana twamulinde tugenda wa muto waffe. Tutwale mami, tujja kutemera se.
Yange byakagwirawo najera gye tulaga.
Kagwirawo.
Tugana najera.
I'm a gentleman nawe kali kwenyinza okubba.
Abana Kampala mbamanyi. Ayinza kugamba wano nti ngenda kutemera ne mutukeri ne yechanga. Najera.
Kale.
Just give me money.
What? Kale.
I take your patient. Boss najera. Jetulaga najera.
Tulwale mese. Zizo kakati n'ekirala.
Tugana najera. Mama kana najera.
Nti akkiriza nti mulalu. Tuyinza otuuka we tuviiramu ne yechanga. Osegeera kakati awo ng'otuyamba.
Kale ngenda bayamba.
The conductor now believes the victim to be the conman's mad relative.
Taina fujo.
Taina fujo.
Yamanyi tugenda wa muto.
Brazo gana najera. Segera. Najera omu. Omu yekawati. Omu brazo. Mama. Yangu najera. Tula wano. Tula wano bita. Kumam. Escape.
The victim is now sandwiched between the two conmen. This makes the conductor believe that they are actually together. The moment they reach a lonely spot, the conmen spring into action, calling the victim by name to show that they know him.
Leonard, are you talking to me? Yeah, kakati katsoke wa musawo oluvanyuma tugende wa dokti wa
bana mufulume
katubire
bana mbambiro tandika bintu ebyo na tugende
mwogera biki wamwadde ddagala buli kugambe bisoye yokukundi ku machaji mukube tuba tunatambula
ddagala kinze sibamanyi
atusenge ebyalo lireeta omugo
bannange mwogera biki
gira bambi yangu omuntu omumanyi
bannange
yangu ya
munta mutasa bano balabika bano balabika
Weza kwata
Bannange.
chika
Bannange mutasa.
omusajja okwani naye omusajja
Bannange bano balabika babbi munyambe bannange
omusajja nabagambye muzibu tanafuka wamusibe dayimani
nabagambe sibamanyi nzibandeke mundeke nabagambe sibamanyi
uyu mulalu oyo bamutwala wa musawo bamulese nabagambe mulalu oyo mulalu oyo gwe tomulaba nze mulabye gwe tolaba n'amaaso ge tugende ate obugayi nabugambye nga buli ate nze nabadde manyi zinabadde nange simanyi
banange mutase bano babbi banange mutase babbi
tugende
mutase babbi bano babbi banange babbi.
To carry out this trick successfully, the conmen made sure that they sat on either side of the victim to convince everyone that they were together. That's why Albert entered just ahead of the victim and booked for Edwin the place next to the victim. That done, they had to convince the conductor that they actually knew the man so that he can help them. They continued to emphasize that they were together. The more he protested, the more everyone believed him to be mad.
Now, when somebody is mad, they will insist that they're not mad. Now, listen to me. Don't insist that you're not mad. That's how you get conned. Right, so when we started the show, I told you will witness some cons that are not so clever but happen all the time. I mean, even right now it's happening. Gwe, sente zange zilwa.
Everyone is happy to receive a gift. People look forward to celebrating birthdays and Christmas because of the many gifts they will receive. But when the gift is unexpected, the delight is even more. To make some quick money. For Gladys, today started out just like any other day. Until a phone call changed everything.
Are you busy?
Hello. May I please know who is calling?
I'm just calling from Trickster Career Services. There is some package for you that they sent to you from London.
I am sorry, that's a mistake. I'm not expecting any parcel.
They sent you, it is here with us. Yeah. No.
Okay, so where do I find you?
Tusanga ku Albert complex. Everyone. Great Flex
Yes.
couriers.
Yeah.
Afuna mabona bana baja kuleta.
Yes.
Kaitu. Dachika. Okay, by 5. Please try to hurry around.
Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. I'll be there just in time.
Well, there could be no harm in finding out what was in the package was there.
Kawedde. Nenga kali mu.
Kawedde.
Tugende ofuna esente.
Oli muyaya nnyo. Oba nze nawe asinga obuyaya.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. It seems I'm late, but I was caught up in traffic.
Yeah, you phoned us for the close because we have closed today. You know, something came up. You know, it's just a death in the family.
Oh, sorry.
But I think let me call my assistant, who's just looking up the stores, and then he brings you your package.
Okay. Thank
Let a package your mukazi unaze. Yeah, bring the file. Bring the file. Yes. No, it's coming. It's coming.
Hello, Uncle.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're in Umchara.
Hey, she's the lady, Bambi. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah. So now,
Yes.
you should give us your identifications before you sign these letters. And now you know that is also followed by something little. Hey, that's little fee.
Yeah.
For handling, you know that.
The flight fee, everything.
Yes.
No, but I thought that was taken care of by the center.
This is a unique arrangement, my friend. So what you are gonna, you can go and then you come back tomorrow.
We are doing a
favor.
No.
You can go.
I do apologize.
No, you can go. You come back tomorrow.
I do apologize for my suspicions, sir.
Okay. Let's get to business now. Now, if you could sign in here, not why in Tuano. So 50,000 things, it would feel okay. You would be okay. Only
50,000 shillings.
Yes. This is another. It's a big package, as you see. Big. So you can sign here, and then we proceed. Yes. Yes.
Sure.
I do apologize for the inconvenience.
Of course, sorry.
This is rather short notice.
So, now my colleague. So, please, John, give me the phone. So, how is business in town?
Yeah, business is okay. But I was just wondering how you guys got my number and called me because I have no one that I know.
Hey, you don't.
Who has sent me this person.
You don't have even friends in London.
Yeah, the friends I had were pen pals, and that was a long time ago.
Oh, the pen pals.
Yeah.
I think those are the people who have just seen you that talking to you. Yeah. You know, friends are always like that. Sometimes they take time to talk to you, to send you things, but later on they send you something. Is doing. You know, your thing might be mixed up with other things.
Okay.
So I think I should go and help him.
Okay, sir.
Let me go and help him. Then I'll come back soon. Okay? I'm coming.
What could be in such a big package? The dream was rapidly turning into a nightmare.
Where are these guys?
And so, as they say, there's more joy in giving than receiving.
Oh my goodness, these guys have robbed me. They've taken my money.
I'm telling you, you won't believe that con has happened to me twice. Twice! I'm even wondering how I can... Right, so when we started the show, I told you you witnessed some cons that are not so clever but happen all the time. I mean, even right now it's happening.
Everyone is happy to receive a gift. People look forward to celebrating birthdays and Christmas because of the many gifts they will receive. But when the gift is unexpected, the delight is even more. Edwin and Albert are ready to make some quick money. For Gladys, today started out just like any other day, until a phone call changed everything.
Very busy.
Hello? May I please know who is calling?
I'm just calling from Great Lakes Career Services. There is some package for you.
I am sorry, that's a mistake. I'm not expecting any parcel.
They sent you. It is here with us. Yeah. No.
Okay, so where do I find you?
Tusanga ku Albert complex. Everyone. Great Flex
Yes.
couriers.
Yeah.
Kafuna mabona bana baja kuleta. Kaitu. Okay, by 5. Please try to hurry, man.
Okay, that should be there just in time.
Well, there could be no harm in finding out what was in the package was there.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. It seems I'm late, but I was caught up in traffic.
Yeah. Today, you know, something came up. You know, it's just a death in the family.
Oh, sorry.
But I think let me call my assistant, who's just looking up the stores, and then he brings you your package.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Let a package your mukazo unaze. Yeah, bring the file. Yes. No, it's coming. It's coming. Yes, you're in charge.
Hey, she's the lady, Bambi. Hello. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hey. So now,
yes.
You should give us your identifications before you sign these letters. And now you know that is also followed by something little. For handling, you know that.
The flight fee, everything.
Yes.
No, but I thought that was taken care of by the center.
This is a unique arrangement, my friend. So, and then you come back tomorrow. We are doing a favor.
No.
You can go.
I do apologize.
No, you can go. You come back tomorrow.
I do apologize for my suspicions, sir.
Okay. let's get to business now. Now, if you could sign in here, not to him, so 50,000 things, it would feel okay. It would be okay. Only
50,000 shillings?
Yes. It's a big package, as you see. Big. So you can sign here and then we proceed. Yes. Yes.
Sure.
I do apologize for the inconvenience.
Of course, sorry.
This is rather short notice.
So, now my colleague will be good to change and the package. So, please, John, do the headphone. So, how is business in town?
Business is okay, but I was just wondering how you guys got my number and called me because I have no one that I know.
Hey, you don't
sent me this person.
You don't have even friends in London?
Yeah, the friends I had were pen pals, and that was a long time ago.
Oh, the pen pals? Yeah. I think those are the people who have just sent you that package to you. Yeah. You know, friends are always like that. Sometimes they take time to talk to you, to send you things, but later on they send you something. This guy is doing. You know, your things might be mixed up with other things.
Okay.
So I think I should go and help him.
Okay, sir.
Let me go and help him. Then I'll come back soon. Okay? I'm coming.
What could be in such a big package? Clothes? Shoes? The dream was rapidly turning into a nightmare. And so, as they say, there's more joy in giving than receiving.
Oh my goodness, these guys have robbed me. They've taken my money.
I'm telling you, you won't believe that con has happened to me twice. I'm even wondering how I can protect myself from such a con.
An uneasy calm in Bukoto South
as voter intimidation, violence and arrest mar by election exercise.
It is Thursday, the 12th of July 2012, and this is NTV Tonight. Now, it was voting day in Bukoto South constituency. Early reports indicate the process was not very smooth, which begs the question, will the outcome reflect the will of the people of Bukoto South?
Also tonight, Shanita Namuimba, also known as Bad Black, rose from the life of destitution to that of plenty in a fashion that captured the attention of many in Kampala. And today she has begun yet another journey, this time to prison after she was found guilty of fraud.
Now on NTV Tonight, we would like to hear from you on your thoughts about the decision by court to sentence her to 4 years in prison. So be sure to have your say.
But first, here are the rest of tonight's headlines.
Congo crisis deepens. UN planes attack M23 bases even as the rebels remain poised to advance on key towns.
"4 years in jail, court delivers sentence for city socialite Bad Black after she is found guilty of fraud.
Money. This is not Parliament's money. This is money that ought to go to the Ugandans.
We want our money. MPs question delay by oil companies to pay up 1.2 trillion shillings in capital gains tax.
A very good evening to you, and thank you for joining us here on NTV Tonight. You are welcome. I am Faith Ariho. And I'm Gabriel Apeno. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, cases of voter intimidation and the arrest of 4 Buganda MPs characterized the Bukoto South parliamentary by-election. Today were the two front-runners, NRM's Alintuma Nsambu and Democratic Party's Matthias Nsubuga, tussling it out to become the area member of parliament. The voting was interrupted for hours by a group of unidentified men wielding stakes and guns at Ngereko polling station. They later fled upon the arrival of police. Chris Ochamringa is on the ground in Lwengo and filed this report.
The polls began in a low key in many polling stations, but later turned chaotic at Seke Secondary School after the Kampala MP from Rubaga North, Moses Kasibante, arrived to monitor the voting exercise.
People are disturbing us here. Help me, people now are not electing.
Kasibante, who supports DP's Matthias Nsubuga, was suspicious of the presence of this plain-clothed police officer in the polling area. He was later arrested for allegedly disrupting the voting. Violent scenes were also witnessed at Bwasa Kasana polling station, where this motorbike taxi operator was beaten by this unidentified man. NRM's Alintuma Nsambu cast his vote in this area, optimistic of a win.
If I win, I will just simply embark on working around in implementing the promises I've made.
But it was at Ngereko polling station where all hell broke loose after a group of men wielding sticks and guns descended on the locals.
Police eri side emu bano bakiva ku squad baludde Kampala. Nga bwe ngambe nja kwogera eri abakulu mbabuuze lwaki kino wekiri oba kibaddewo.
This is Ngereko polling center, the place where some ugly scenes played here just a few minutes ago. And I'm joined here by the commander of the station, Officer Tuliwagenyi. Officer, tell us, what exactly happened? Who were those people beating up others?
As per now, I cannot tell much about those people because my major concern was to guard these boxes up here. And the scaffold was in a distance of 100 meters away from the polling center. So what I did to rescue the situation was to deploy my boys whom I had at the center to go and cool and handle the situation.
DP's Matthias Nsubuga says many of his supporters were arrested and is crying foul over the way the polls have been conducted.
Kubanga kati
Honorable bali ku ddembe ali ku nsiko simanyi gyali bamunoonya baagala kumukwata. Honorable Kiyingi bamukwatidde ku police post eyekamenya miggo.
Over 30,000 people were registered to vote in Bukoto South in this by-election that carries huge ethnic undertones from Buganda loyalists determined to vote against the NRM candidate for allegedly insulting the Kabaka. The NRM's Alin Tuman Sambu has denied the allegation and expressed confidence that he'll win the election. Chris Ochamringa, NTV, Luengo District.
Now to Luengo District, voters in the Bukoto by-election were this morning gripped with fear when some gun and stick-wielding men began beating up voters, forcing them to flee the polling stations. However, after an apology from the Electoral Commission boss Badru Chigundu, the voters returned to the polls, and it's however not known if this incident affected the overall number of votes cast in the affected areas. Now, NTV's Chris Ochamringa, like we've seen, is online in Bukoto South to update us on the situation on the ground. Chris, how is the voting exercise going on, and have you witnessed any incidents there?
Well, so far we are just heading to the Luengo District headquarters where the tally center is, and earlier on we were at a number of polling stations, and the results that are coming in indicate that the two contenders in this race, that is NRM's Alin Tuman Sambu and the DP's Mathias Nsubuga, are really running neck to neck. The results are just trickling in, so it's still too early to call. For instance, in one of the polling stations, that's Kabula Soke, Mathias Nsubuga had 235 votes, while Nsambu had 198. In another one, Nsubuga had 97 and Sambu had 174. And so it's really, they're really going neck to neck. Like
it's a close call.
Yep, it is.
Okay, so have you spoken to the rival candidates as well as the Police and Electoral Commission? And if so, what are they saying about the whole process?
Well, earlier in the day we spoke to the rival candidates. Both of them were accusing each other of orchestrating the violent scenes and the smear campaign that has been going on. For the Electoral Commission officers, they're saying that some of these things that were playing out were beyond them. They're going to notify the authorities to try to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, Chris, you've mentioned a couple of results there, but so far, what are the indications that you have right now? Who is leading at the moment?
You know, it's really interesting. Like I said, they're really running neck to neck. But we've just passed the headquarters of the DP and the NRM candidates, which are close to each other in an area called Kinoni, and both camps were jubilating like they have already won.
Wow.
But we are right now driving to the district headquarters, and we are seeing Electoral Commission cars carrying some of the ballot boxes. So there's still a lot more that needs to be counted.
Okay, now Chris, you've been in this constituency for a couple of days and you've spoken to a cross-section of people. Why do you think there's so much at stake in this by-election?
Okay, Gabriel, really this by-election is really about the old tensions between Buganda Kingdom and the government. You recall in 2009 we had the September riots that was sparked off by the Kabaka's refusal, the government's refusal for the Kabaka to go to Kayunga district. Now, around that time, the NRM candidate, Alin Tuman Sambu, was the state minister for the ICT. Okay, and at that time, the Kingdom's radio station, that is CBS, was really up in arms, about the king's refusal. The government's refusal to allow the king to go to Kayunga. And so he was quoted as saying that CBS is really inciting the public. It's broadcasting negative, harmful propaganda, and he was considering closing them.
Okay.
And then soon after that, the radio station was closed for 1 year, and people started concluding that he was the one who did it. And also, there's another incident where he's accused of having insulted the Kabaka. He said that he can't prostrate before him, and accusations which he denied. We asked him today, he denied. So those are really the things that have made this by-election so hotly contested. What the people of Uganda are saying is that this is their territory, and they want someone the MP of this area to be someone who will have their best interests.
Okay, Chris, finally. Okay, go on, Chris.
Yeah, so it's really a fight between the government and the Buganda Kingdom.
Okay, well, Chris, we'll have to leave it very in a short while from now. But finally, what time should we expect the final results? We know that polls closed a while ago. Have the results been announced yet, the final results, or we will have to wait for a little more while?
Yeah, my sense is that it will be any time between midnight or 1, because, like I said, the ballot boxes are just being taken to the tally center right now. We are right behind some of the cars that are going there. So it will really be, because there are 66 polling stations in this constituency, so that will require a lot of time. And so by around midnight or 1 or thereabouts, we expect the final results to come out.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Our reporter Chris Ochamringa reporting there live from Lwengo, giving us an update in the Bukoto South by-election. Moving on, tension continues to mount in Rutshuru, about 50 kilometers from Bunagana border of Uganda and Congo, as businesses close in the town of Goma over fears of an impending rebel attack. Now, speaking to NTV, Lieutenant Colonel Innocent Mugabe of the M23 rebel group, who is commanding the force that took over Busaza last week, said he is just waiting for orders to march onto government troops who have returned to Rutshuru. There are also reports that 5 helicopters from the United Nations forces shelled areas occupied by rebels in Nkokwe and Bukima near Rutshuru and Goma. UNHCR officials anticipate a renewed influx of refugees from eastern Congo.
Life is back to normal at Busanza border and people are going about their businesses. This is the border point between Congo and Uganda, and residents say this was one of the escape routes used by government soldiers after a fierce battle with M23 rebels in Bunagana last week. Just long sticks are what separates Uganda and Congo. This was once a checkpoint manned by the Congolese government soldiers, and as we drove deeper, we found several M23 rebels patrolling the area that lies between the rugged hills of eastern Congo. And after entering Karambi, we met Kamejeri Damian, a tailor in Rutshuru, who said the situation in the area is increasingly becoming dangerous as government soldiers repossess the town that only 5 days ago was in the hands of rebels.
Ile woga iko mu wakaaji. Tunaogopa watapigana tena, wakaaji ndio watakufa sana.
This is Karambi Barracks that was once a stronghold of government soldiers, but it fell in the hands of the M23 rebels last week, and to them, they are saying they will stay here for as long as they wish. At this barracks, M23 rebels oiled their guns as they prepare for yet another attack on Rutshuru.
Ngazi zetu za juu zinajua cha kufanya, alafu wakati wataamua tutajua na sisi cha kufanya, watatuparsha, watatuelezea, tutaona cha kufanya.
But as the war intensifies, some of the people are still confused about what is going on, since all they remember is that M23 rebels and government soldiers were one.
Sasa tuna raia tunakuwa ile shida ya woga. Tunasema vita wakati inakuwa si ndio tunakufa.
Relaxed and laid back, they looked atop this strategic hill that is just about 15 kilometers from their enemy, the government forces.
Hakuna kitu chochote, hakuna tishio katika mambo yote ambayo yako hapa mbele yetu. Chote kiko mbele yetu, tuko tayari kwa kupambana nacho.
About 3 kilometers from this place is Karambi Hospital, where 4 Congolese soldiers are undergoing treatment, guarded by M23 rebels.
Risasi iko ndani, ilibakiaka ndani hapa, waliopereva na inabashinda.
Ile picha ya radiography hatuna hapa. Inakuwa ku hospital kubwa, ndio tunataka ndoa kule.
The only way to the main hospital in Goma is through Rutshuru, and if the situation does not get any better, he might have to endure the pain for some time. There are still reports that many shops are closed in Goma since yesterday over fears of an impending attack. But there are reports that today 5 helicopters from the UN shelled Nkokwe and Bunika, which are occupied by M23 rebels near Rutshuru and Goma. For now, the guns are pointing at Rutshuru and Goma, and no one knows what will happen next. Sudil Biarhanga, NTV, Bunagana.
Shanita Namuimbwa, popularly known as Bad Black, together with her socialite boyfriend Medi Sentongo, are tonight spending their first night in Luzira prison after the anti-corruption court found them guilty of embezzling funds. Bad Black will serve 4 years in jail, while her counterpart Medi Sentongo is to serve 18 months. Court has advised that if the two are not satisfied, they can challenge the rather lenient sentences in the appellate court.
If Bad Black Namuimbwa and Medi Sentongo are to appeal, they have 14 days to do so. Both were convicted by the Anti-Corruption Court on charges of embezzlement and conspiracy to defraud Davshan Developments Limited of $3.9 million or 9 billion Uganda shillings. Black was a co-director in Davshan with her ex-British lover David Greenhag as the majority shareholder. Greenhag filed a suit after Black failed to account for the funds, which were intended for real estate development. Black embezzled the money and gave away a chunk of it to her lover Medi Sentongo, before turning herself into a self-styled socialite and a part-time philanthropist. Bad Black Namuimbwa was a city sex worker based at Rock Gardens in Kampala. She got access to Greenhag's wealth after they started an affair, as court had. Greenhag runs an aviation consultancy firm in Sussex, Britain. While on trial, Black claimed that she carried Greenhag's child, a fact that remains hazy to now. Greenhag, who has seen the baby once, denies being the father, and he encourages Black to challenge that using DNA.
Have you heard a claim much lately about my being the father? No.
Have you ever seen the baby?
Once.
Once?
Yes.
Did that convince you that actually the baby is not yours?
It strongly suggested it wasn't mine.
Well, it is on this issue that we would like to hear from you on tonight's NTV poll, and we are asking, what do you make of court's decision to sentence Bad Black to 4 years in jail after she was found guilty of embezzling 11 billion shillings? I'll say that again. What do you make of court's decision to sentence Bad Black to 4 years in jail after she was found guilty of embezzling 11 billion shillings?
Well, to have your say, text 8778 followed by yes or no, as well as your name and where you are texting from, and we shall be reading some of your comments during tonight's newscast, as well as bringing you the final poll result for tonight.
Indeed. Now, Felician Kabuga is believed to be one of the key masterminds of the 1994 Rwanda genocide. There have been concerted efforts by the international community over the years to have Kabuga face justice, but he remains at large. Now, although his whereabouts remain unknown, it has repeatedly been speculated that Kabuga could be hiding in Kenya. In fact, the Kenyan government has on several occasions been forced to come out to deny that it was hosting and shielding Kabuga from facing justice. So where exactly is Kabuga, and who could be protecting him? Why? Well, NTV Kenya's John Allen Lamu has spent over 5 months on the trail of Kabuga and has come up with some startling revelations. So tonight, right after this news bulletin, instead of our weekly talk show On the Spot, we'll be airing the documentary In the Footsteps of Felician Kabuga. Well, here's a sneak preview of what you can expect.
He remains a man on the run, a figure in hiding, and one of the world's most wanted men. There's a $5 million or 400 million Kenya shilling bounty on the head of Felician Kabuga, a man alleged to be the financier and main backer of the militia groups that committed the 1994 genocide in Rwanda. His whereabouts remain the mystery of our times. There are different accounts about this.
We've had information of him coming and going in the past, but this is his base. This is where he feels the safest. This is where he's expended substantial resources.
So So be sure to tune in for the groundbreaking 1-hour documentary tonight, right after the news. We'll now take a short break, but here's some of what you can expect when we return on NTV Tonight.
On the spot, MPs question the president's resolve to fight corruption.
And on EcoTalk this week, bringing life to land degraded by quarrying. NTV Tonight continues after this short break. See you shortly.
This is NTV.
Nangirira omwaka gwa Mukama ogw'okuganja akkiriza okuzimba ku nnyumba kale muguno ozimba.
Our star today is Pastor Wilson Bugembe, who grew up in some of the worst conditions a person can go through. During his early years, the young Bugembe lived through unfortunate trials and temptations. This include the loss of his two parents, death of his siblings, and untold suffering for over 4 years as a street child. After the death of his parents and siblings, Bugembe faced life all alone. He was mistreated by those that had earlier on promised to help him. With no shoes, one yellow shirt and a pair of shorts, Bugembe left home and decided to face the world alone. As of today, Pastor Wilson Bugembe is one of the best gospel artists in East Africa. From grass to grace, the singing pastor is indeed Uganda's gospel shining light. His life is a clear testimony. His breakthrough song was Jagala Kumanya. The song sold out and received massive airplay on both radio and TV stations. At this stage, however, the gospel music fans were not yet so familiar with the person behind this life-inspiring hit. From Jagala Kumanya, Pastor Bugembe proved that he had come to stay when he released yet another song titled Komaweka. These two sold out highly and was followed by other inspirational and social awakening hits. When you try to analyze Pastor Bugembe's projects, your conclusions will be far from the genuine reality.
Welcome back. We start with a reminder of our NTV poll question for tonight and some of your responses. We asked, what do you make of the court's decision to sentence Bad Black to 4 years in jail after she was found guilty of embezzling 11 billion shillings? What do you make of court's decision to sentence Bad Black to 4 years in jail after being found guilty of embezzling 11 billion shillings?
Well, to have your say, text 8778, then yes or no, and followed by your name and where you are texting from. Let's now take a look at some of your comments so far.
Well, Odongo James Patrick, you say it is not fair if the ordinary are penalized and the big ones in government are left after embezzling funds as well.
And Kansime Greens from Nyabushenyi here says the sentence for Bad Black is friendly because the offense committed is heavier, so she serves as an example to deter others.
I'll keep those comments coming. We shall read some more at the tail end of this bulletin in this case that has gripped a lot, especially of Kampalans in the recent past. Well, moving on, members of parliament under the umbrella of the Parliamentary Forum on Oil and Gas Group are questioning the delay by oil companies to pay a capital gains tax to Uganda Revenue Authority amounting to approximately 1.2 trillion shillings.
Appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources, the chairperson of the forum and Remiaga County MP, Theodora Sechikubo, said URA was yet to receive the money from Talo Oil.
Talo Oil, one of the companies operating in Uganda, sold part of its stake to a French company, Total and CNOOC, the Chinese national offshore oil company, a deal that prompted the tax collector, Uganda Revenue Authority, to demand for a 30% worth of capital gains tax in February this year. But the MPs say URA has since failed to collect the tax, raising suspicions that another tax dispute is due to emerge with the oil company.
This is not Prime Minister money. This is not Parliament's money. This is money that ought to go to the Ugandans. And the Commissioner General, who by statute is required to ensure that payments are made in form of taxes, she says she has no response to give to Ugandans.
Because taxation is a creature of the Constitution, and the right to tax is actually given to Parliament.
This complaint follows a 2-year dispute Uganda government has had with Heritage Oil and Gas after the company sold its stake to Talo Oil, leading to a company gains tax of $404 million, approximately 1 trillion shillings. This resulted in Uganda being dragged into a tax tribunal in the United Kingdom, in which over 11 billion shillings has so far been spent on lawyers defending the country. Recently, the Under-Secretary in the Solicitor General's office, Ernest Bafachi, said government would require another 9 billion shillings to continue with the case in London. Meanwhile, a renowned professor of law, Frederick Sempebwa, wants government to consider sharing the oil resources with the host community like Bunyoro. Sempebwa was today appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources to present views on the oil bill currently before Parliament.
Those areas where the resources are located are likely to suffer things like environmental degradation, and the flora and fauna is likely to be affected. They should be compensated by a little share. That is my own personal feeling.
Professor Sempebwa also advised that there is no need to treat information on Uganda's oil confidential.
Confidentiality, personally, I believe in transparency. So definitely, personally, I'm not keen on confidentiality clauses because there's very little to hide.
Staying at Parliament, MPs who subscribe to the African Parliamentarians Against Corruption are demanding that President Yoweri Museveni explains to Ugandans whether he has the political will to fight corruption. This comes after the president reportedly asked the NRM caucus to exonerate ministers implicated in the National IDs project saga. As Agnes Nandutu reports, the MPs also want the Director of Public Prosecution to explain to Parliament how he exonerated the Minister of National Guidance and Information, Masiko Kawakumba, over equipment belonging to the national broadcaster that was recovered from a radio station she owns.
However much we shall talk about corruption, we members of parliament, when the president is calling us in caucus to go and support members who are stealing government's money, that does not show willingness to fight corruption in this area.
These people who are involved in corrupt tendencies are thieves who are not stealing for the party. I want people to understand that they steal for their stomachs.
Any party that goes out to condone corruption is not worth a party.
These MPs are members of the African Parliamentarians Against Corruption (APNAC) Uganda chapter. The lawmakers from both the ruling NRM party and opposition are now taking issue with President Yoweri Museveni's request to have the former ministers implicated in ID project exonerated. The investigation conducted by the Parliamentary Committee on Defence and Internal Affairs established that the procurement rules were flouted. Former ministers Krunda Kivejinja, Alintu Mansambu, Kid Makubia, and other high-ranking government officials were found liable for making government lose money.
There is no way a man with conscience will accept that anybody who is engaged in that deal can be exonerated.
Kirunda Kivejinja and Honorable Alintuma Nsamvo, they should be advised to start the long walk to Luzira prison.
Let the president come and inform us whether he's in charge or he's not in charge. If he's not in charge, then other people take over. But we are tired of suffering in our own country.
These MPs are also concerned why the Director of Public Prosecution cleared former Minister for National Guidance, Masiko Kabakumba, of alleged theft of UBC equipment.
And we as members of UPNAC, we are up in arms that the case must be reinstated.
Get the DPP to appear before Parliament, let him appear before the Legal and Parliamentary Committee, explain why he thinks there is no evidence, and then we show him the evidence.
The MPs urge that if the executive has no teeth to bite, then the legislative arm of government should be given more powers to fight the vice of corruption, which they say has crippled social services in the country. Agnes Nandutu, NTV, Parliament.
Now, cement is a very important component in the construction business, but acquiring it means limestone has to be extracted through quarrying. This finally degrades the environment and creates deep gullies if left unrestored. In this week's EcoTalk, Craig Kadoda reports on how cement company is working to restore some of these areas affected by quarries, affected by quarries to their natural state.
This is a quarry that is being opened up by the cement miners in Kasese district. Unlike stone quarries, limestone quarries are not deep because limestone is found closer to the surface in volcanic soils. This land owned by Hima Cement was mined for its limestone for several years, and now exhausted, the company has embarked on restoring it to its natural state.
Before they do the mining, what they do is they remove the topsoil, the overburden, put it aside as you can see here, and then they blast that area using explosives. What happens is once they finish removing the material, they return that topsoil. That's the topsoil that we use to landscape the area and then plant trees on.
The gaping holes are refilled with earth and boulders after limestone is mined. This process takes close to 5 and 10 years, but it has to be done carefully. Trees, especially leguminous ones that have nitrogen-fixing properties, are planted on the rocky patches. But then how do they manage to germinate in such conditions?
They create space for other species, like the indigenous, to find ways to the groundwater, which isn't very deep. Now, most of the areas here, the groundwater is about 10 to 15 meters below. Yeah, so these NFTs are able to use the chemicals that they emit from the roots to widen the gaps, hence allowing the species that we plant later to reach the water table.
The trees often recolonize the area due to their evasive nature, which also makes them spread fast. The leaves that fall off the trees also decompose on the ground, creating more food nutrients for the soil that used to be exposed to limestone. This simple ecological cycle then leads to more vegetation cover in the former quarries. But certain specifications have to be followed before digging the pits where the trees are to be planted.
We actually backfill with overburden, and the pits are 1 foot by 1 foot. Yeah, so we fill halfway with the backfilling with overburden to allow the young tree to be able to mature faster.
Limestone extraction is limited to a depth of approximately 40 meters below the local groundwater level. But since groundwater is pumped out of the quarry to make extraction possible, the area often becomes dry. However, there is now more being done to develop the natural vegetation around the former quarries to support restoration in the former quarries. Apart from quarry restoration, Hima has used some of its land, to be exact 65 hectares, for tree planting. Now, some of the tree species that they have planted, these range from cassia to acacia and mahogany, among others. Now, the whole point of doing this is to be able to trap the carbon emissions that are emitted by the factory.
So in this case here, we're trying to do a mosaic of habitats that will mimic the Renzoris and the Queen Elizabeth National Park, so that species and plants, animals from these areas, flora and fauna, can actually come and thrive here.
The philosophy behind this approach is to recultivate the area as soon as possible in order not to destroy the vegetation cover and practice sustainable development where the land is conserved for generations to come. Craig Kadoda, NTV Ecotalk.
Well, Malcolm Musime is standing by to bring us NTV Business. Malcolm, what have you in store for us this evening?
Thank you, Gabriel. There's a lot of money in the tourism sector.
Yes.
So we're asking, does this money actually go somewhere to help the locals at those tourism sites?
Guess we're about to find out.
Yes, of course. So tonight on Business, that's what we'll be asking. Do the proceeds from tourism actually reach the communities around these tourist sites? Join me after the break for that and more in Business Night. Don't go away.
There is nothing a member of parliament cannot do except turning a man into a woman. We can retrieve the powers of the president. We can remove members of cabinet from parliament. We can change all these other laws. So why are we not doing that? Actually, let me tell you, I blame members of parliament for whatever we are going through. We do this when we got caucus, we change. We do this when we got chankwans, we change. Why change?
Sally, also known as Baby Cool Munene Big Size, the Bogolako superstar, also popularly known as East Africa's Mr. Showbiz, is a reggae musician who was born on 1st September 1977 to a popular politician, Jabeli Bidandi Sali.
Big size, extra large. Kanyini music, Uganda,
He started his music career in the mid-90s while at Chitante High School, where he was an entertainment prefect, together with Rudeboy Devo and Luther T. Like many other Ugandan musicians, Baby Cool went to Nairobi, Kenya in 1997, where he started to make his name as a prolific musician, together with Red Sun and Chameleon.
I'm on a handle, no matter what kind of trouble. I'm on a handle, real man should handle.
Baby Cool was one of the first artists affiliated with Ogopa DJs, a production house and record label in Kenya, but a few years later he moved back to Uganda. Baby Cool, who sings in Luganda, English and Swahili, has done a number of songs with multiples of
You're very much welcome to NTV Business Tonight. My name is Malcolm Musime. Now, first, while Uganda has over the last 4 years ranked over $500 million from the tourism sector, questions are being asked whether a commensurate fraction of that amount trickles down to directly benefit communities around major tourism sites. NTV's Samuel Setuma visited the communities around the Queen Elizabeth National Park in Kasese, from where it brings us the experiences of the local communities around the country's most popular tourist destination.
These are part of the tourism community project at Kikorongo in Kasese, doing a demo performance.
For the 30 minutes performance, we charge 50,000 Uganda shillings. For 1 hour performance, we charge 100,000.
This is no ordinary arrangement of a local group tapping into tourism revenue. The nearest most known tourist lodge in this area is Red Chili, which has made this group as part of its itinerary and features it on its website. This means that the group must meet Red Chili's expectation, which defines the partnership.
Our effort is to get communities run tourism businesses purely as business. These are community businesses. They make about average of about 3 million a month in a high season. Each person, each tourist pays an average of 30,000 shillings per hour to be shown how to make a basket.
When some women weave baskets, when they are sold, they manage to pay school fees for their children.
So integration of these communities by established industry players like lodges and raising their standards and packaging is a given for these businesses to make much sense.
A lot of communities sell baskets. You go to Mbale, you go to Masaka, you go to Jinja. People are selling baskets, but they are not selling the making of it. You know, you've seen people here, they sell the making of a basket. Tourists come and see someone how they are making their gardens. That's a product, and they buy it.
Specific also is creation of impression by making the venues artistic enough to impress on the business-like approach of things. This group with another near Cafe Salt Lake even have books of accounts and are trained to make wise investment decisions.
And the hypothesis is that as communities benefit directly from wildlife, then they will appreciate the relationship.
Unfortunately, all these interventions are mainly supported by development partners, and government involvement is minimal at most.
After maybe performing cultural performance, after maybe demonstrating, after maybe doing something, others still go on the road and roast gonja. Some depend on agriculture, like they cultivate cotton, maize, and whatever, to boost something which they get from here.
There is nothing that stops the Kasese model from being replicated elsewhere in Uganda. Samuel Setumba, NTV Business.
NTV Business, we're now going to look at the financial markets. The shilling has continued to hold fairly steady against the dollar, helped by fairly good greenback inflows. We have more in the financial market report.
Financial report is brought to you by URA, developing Uganda together.
All vehicles are required to revalidate their registration using our new online module and get a new logbook. All newly imported vehicles will also be registered online using this new online module. Get out of the line and get online.
And finally, an NTV Business with a combined monthly transaction on mobile commerce now estimated to be in millions of dollars. Telecom firms are now expanding on their online product thresholds as a revenue maximization avenue. The leading industry players were speaking of these developments here in Kampala on the sidelines of a new uptake of payment of electricity bills by the power utility firm, Umeme.
Mobile commerce, the movement of cash transactions via phone handsets within Uganda's economy, is now ranked in billions of shillings each month. This new development is now being seen as a critical shift from the traditional voice and data revenue streams by telecom service providers.
We have 5,000 agents as we speak across the country, and these agents are available so close that you can buy a float and get your payment done instantly.
Overall, we have seen during the last 3 months a significant growth in our customer base who are using the mobile money.
They were speaking out on these developments at an event here in Kampala, where utility firm Umeme unveiled a new bail settlement system via the mobile phone.
We have been partnering with Umeme for the last 3 months, making sure that our systems are fully integrated and tested, ensuring that we are offering a very reliable services to Umeme customers.
So I think we are seeing stability of our power and availability of power has improved. But has it really impacted in lowering our cost? Not yet. At least we are happy to see that the cost is not escalated. So I think if we continue to see this trend of reliable power available for more than let's say for the full 24 hours, I think your telecom networks are going to get better.
Even then, the utility firm emphasizes that the current supply on the grid remains inadequate, warning that without other producers beyond Bujagali, a crisis may carry on.
But if roofings alone demands 50 megawatts of power, a company like Tembo Steel also demands 40 megawatts of power, TNT and Steel 30 megawatts of power, all that excess will be gone. So all of these people are now ramping up their production because now they see there's power and there's a market. What about the rest of the people?
According to Umeme, this new touch pay system is likely to shore up prompt payments of bills as well as support it to obtain good returns on its $134 million investment over the years. Reina Ojan, NTV Business.
And that's all we had for you on NTV Business for tonight. Thank you for watching. Back to Gabriel and Faith.
Thank you, Malcolm.
You're welcome.
Now Joel Kamadi joins us to take us through sport. Joel, what should we expect today?
Well, she is ranked 5th in the world among female rally drivers and is also a budding musician. But Susan Mwonge will be turning her attention to the track as the annual Pearl of Africa. Yes, musician.
Wow. Nice.
And she'll be turning her attention to the track as the annual Pearl of Africa rally kicks off tomorrow. Now, I'll be telling you how prepared she is in NTV Sport up next.
Also known as Navio, a young, dynamic and talented musician who's been one of the pioneers of the hip-hop scene in Uganda.
The Savior's here, I need 2 hymns. If I do 2 tracks, that's 2 gems. I'm just getting revved up.
Navio has spent over a decade in the industry, and his growth to become a major hip-hop star has mirrored the growth of hip-hop in Uganda.
I like to hustle, like an open door. You wanna skip work, well I can do a chore. To my bank is a strength, to the world is a flaw.
At the age of 16, he formed the hip-hop group Clear Cut with 4 of his closest friends. Tom Mayanja, also known as The Myth.
Good evening and welcome to NTV Sport. I am Joel Kamadi. Now, Team Uganda are to maintain their training in Kenya for the Olympics after abandoning an initial plan to train the team in Kampala as part of a preparation for the London Olympic Games. One athlete, Jacob Araptani, is confident his training will better his place in the medal bracket and end Kenya's dominance.
Uganda Athletics Federation officials have abandoned the idea of the Olympic-bound runners switching their camp to Kampala, where the weather is similar to that in London. Instead, the team will keep training in Kweni, Kenya, from where they will set off for the Olympic Games to start later this month. Some of the runners will continue with drills in Kampala. Both camps, according to the officials, are good enough for the athletes' final preparations.
One, we looked at the climate. 2, we looked at the period the athletes will need to adjust. 3, we looked at the interest of the athletes. And since most of them have been training in Iteni, many of them preferred they will remain in 10.
Jacob Araptany is however determined to end Kenya's dominance in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. His best time in this race is 8 minutes 14 seconds, which he hopes to better in London.
I know the trick they have been using. I've got the trick, the way they trained, and this time around there is a big fight with them. I'll have to challenge them. I'll have to show them that there is a man with them.
The first batch of Team Uganda departs for London on the 22nd, 6 days before the competitions start. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Now, the Pearl of Africa Uganda Rally is considered to be the toughest event on the local motorsport calendar since it brings together the creme de la creme of drivers in Africa. But for Susan Super Lady Muonge, who is ranked 5th in the world among female elite drivers, it is just like any other event. With the competition getting underway tomorrow, the reigning national rally champion is not under any pressure and is in high spirits. Having come fourth in the Pearl of Africa Rally before she clinched the national title last year, the Super Lady feels this time round she is gunning for the points and also aiming to finish the rally, being optimistic about her chances.
I'm looking at finishing and acquiring points. That is all that I'm looking at. My chances are 99%, I may say. I'm leaving out the 10, but at least we've gone wrecking, and being the NRC champion, I still have that strength that I can do better than what I did last year.
The rally driver believes she is not under any pressure to deliver, even though she faces stiff competition from the foreigners and her male counterparts.
It was unfortunate that this time round we didn't get quite a big number of foreigners, so that gives us a chance as local drivers. However much the route is new, but at least I've been competing with the big guns who are here. So I'm not scared at all. I have no pressure. I know I can do the best. Well, there are so many. There is Mangat, there is Sebuguzi, the foreigners, that is, what is his name? Essa, Muhammad Essa, yeah.
And this is what she thinks about being ranked 5th in the world.
Ranking me in the 5th position shows that at least I'm trying my level best. It was not by coincidence that I took the NRC championship last year. So it means I'm struggling, I have the skills, and I can still do the best.
Super Lady there for you. Now, Malik Hitman Kalisa is in high spirits to avenge his defeat by Titus Tugume when he makes his second attempt on a national kickboxing title tomorrow. Rosem Istvan, now guiding Malik's tune-up, is confident his fighter has gained a lot both in skill and fitness for the highly anticipated bout at Lugogo Indoor Stadium.
Titus Tugume will face yet another test from Malik Kalisa, seeking to claim the national title won by his opponent in the fight staged at Lugogo in Kampala last year. Kalisa blamed the wet canvas for his loss in the first attempt against Tugume, who he believes he has no chance of stopping him from achieving his targets.
This is not the end. After the national title, I'll be going for the East African Championship. Then from there, I'll go for the African Championship.
Malik is concentrating for the fight, so we take out everything. Just important the fight, no speaking too much, just training. He's training a lot, so no mistake. I don't want mistake because I want that he win.
A win for Tugume will place him in a better position in his pleas to face Moses Golola before seeking an international bout in the professional ranks. Malik is looking forward to improving his profile and win more home support if he overcomes Tugume. Sohail Mugabe, NTV Sport.
Now, 35 men and 13 women are being trained in Gulu to undertake the role of identifying potential wheelchair basketball players from different parts of the country. This is the initial stage of a plan to start a national league where excelling players are identified and nurtured for international engagements, as Moses Akena reports.
These are the players in an induction training in Gulu town to teach them basic skills of wheelchair basketball. Uganda still lacks qualified coaches, and the German trainer is here to extend basic skills and techniques of training potential coaches and players of the game. The aim is to develop the sport and unearth talents that would not have otherwise been detected.
But in wheelchair basketball, first of all, you have to learn to control the ball, hold the ball, and pass it when your partner is in a position to receive the ball.
cannot play any other game apart from this one. So this is the most beautiful game for me.
The training, sponsored by the Ugandan World Paralympics Governing Committee, Handicap International and the German government, officially closed this evening in Gulu town. The organizers, however, struggling to raise funds to facilitate the activities geared towards having wheelchair basketball at national level and elite athletes playing on the international scene. Moses Akena, NTV Sport, Gulu.
And that winds up NTV Sport for tonight. Thanks for watching. Back to you, Gabriel and Faith.
Thank you,
Thank you very much, Joe Kamadi. Let's now have a look at Friday's weather prospects. Okay, let's now take you back to tonight's NTV poll, and we asked you, what do you make of the court's decision to sentence Bad Black to 4 years in jail after she was found guilty of embezzling 11 billion shillings? Here are some of your comments. Faith, you have some of those?
Yeah, sure. Someone here says she needs to serve her punishment because a turn deserves another.
Okay, and Kasita Hamza, you say it was a bad judgment for the court to sentence her to jail. That money has been spent here. It's still in the economy. Very interesting. Perhaps she was sent to jail to prove to the complainant that laws in Uganda can work. Otherwise, I see her as a hero, and I pray she wins her appeal.
And someone here says it's not entirely fair that Bad Black serves that sentence. The white man knew well that she was a sex worker, not to be trusted.
Well, finally, Ziwa Fred, you say it has proved to many Ugandans that no one is above the law, however rich he or she is. Well, thank you so much for all of your comments. NTV poll will return next week on Monday with yet another poll question for us to discuss.
And I'll be back at 11:30 for our final roundup of the day's news. But for now, from both of us here, thank you for watching NTV Tonight. I am Faith Eriho.
I'm Gabriel Penu. Thank you for watching, and have a good night and great weekend. Bye-bye.
This is NTV.
Moses Sally, also known as Baby Cool Munene Munene Big Size, the Bogolako superstar, also popularly known as East Africa's Mr. Showbiz, is a reggae musician who was born on 1st September 1977 to a popular politician, Jabeli Bidandi Sally.
Big size extra large. Can you the music? Uganda pay for Namia. Happy Woolies are a chief food. Then Sanga Mo Uganda.
He started his music career in the mid-90s while at Chitante High School, where he was an entertainment prefect, together with Rudeboy Devo and Luther T. Like many other Ugandan musicians, Baby Cool went to Nairobi, Kenya in 1997, where he started to make his name as a prolific musician, together with Red Sun and Chameleon.
Take it, I'm on a handle, no matter what kind of trouble. I'm on a handle, real man should handle.
Baby Cool was one of the first artists affiliated with Ogopa DJs, a production house and record label in Kenya, but a few years later he moved back to Uganda. Baby Cool, who sings in Luganda, English and Swahili, has done a number of songs with multiples of collaborations with artists like Bobby Wine, Kid Fox aka King Steven, Irene Namubiru, Trickster and many other artists. Baby Cool teamed up with Kenyan music duo Necessary Noise, Peter Miles and Mesha to form a reggae group known as the East African Bashment Crew. They released a number of songs like Kube, Fire Anthem, a hit that saw Baby Cool to the Palm Award Artist of the Year nominations of 2006, and Africa Unite. The group was nominated at the inaugural 2008 MTV Africa Music Awards.
Excuse me. Number one, me a band them. Bad man making me surround them. Give them no space for excuse.
Baby was also nominated for the Kora All African Awards in 2003 and 2005, where he bagged the 2003 Kora Awards Best East African Artist. Baby Cool Munene is a musician who believes in himself and his talent. He's married to model and former Miss Uganda contestant Zuena Churema, and together they have 2 sons. Today he's ranked among the top 5 musicians in Uganda's music industry.